Hey guys, so welcome to week 4 and let me know how you're doing. I want to make sure that you're doing well on this whole process of getting healthy, whether it be you are trying to release weight or your inflammation or whatever health goal that you are personally trying to do right now. I want to make sure that you are being successful. So, we are on week 4, and today we're going to be talking about detoxing and the importance of detoxing your body. When you first started on this program, when you first started on the drops, typically a lot of people will find that the first few days are always the most difficult, meaning that you may experience things like headaches or you might feel kind of sluggish. You may just feel blah, like there's no energy whatsoever. And when that's happening, you're like, okay, they told me I was going to feel better and I'm not. And when that's going on, what your body is actually going through is a detox. You're getting rid of your junk food, your processed foods. And it takes your body to a moment to basically react to what's going on. The best thing that you can do is not to go back to your Coca-Colas or your soft drinks and try to get these things in that your body was used to doing. But the actual best thing that you can do is flush your body with water. So you need to make sure that you're getting half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day. Now, how do you know when it's time to do a detox? So I typically will do a detox about once a month, but I'll do it for like 7 days. So to me, it's easiest to do a detox like the first 7 days of each month. I'm making sure that my dog gets his heartworm pill. I'm changing the air filters in my home, and I'm detoxing my body. That's what I start doing on the first of each month. But there's other times that you may think, okay, how do I know if I need to detox? One of the reasons you may to do start your detox is you're unable to release weight. Maybe you've been losing, but then you've stopped and you're like, okay, what do I do now? Like I'm doing everything that I was doing when I was releasing weight, and now I'm not releasing weight anymore. That's probably a good indication that it's time for you to do a detox. Do you ever notice that you are bloating or maybe you are experiencing pain in your joints? Okay, that was my one key personally. And when I find that my joints are aching, whether it be my wrist or my ankles or whatever, I make sure that I go ahead and do an extra detox. Are you dealing with skin issues like acne or psoriasis or eczema? It's time to do a detox. Have you noticed that your energy levels have started going down? You need to do a detox. Do you get a sick a lot? It's time to do a detox. This is what I find in my family as a mom of three. I find that when someone in the family gets sick, whether it be my husband or any of my kids, like the whole world stops. Okay. But when mom gets sick, nobody cares. So it's really and truly one of my big jobs is to keep healthy at all times. So when someone comes into the house and they're saying, hey, mom, I got a sore throat, guess who's doing the detox? Mom is doing the detox. Okay. So keep your body healthy for sure. There's some things that you can do that you can take specific ingredients from your kitchen and you can actually make a apple cider vinegar lemon detox tea. So that's going to be 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 ounces of lemon juice, and I would do organic lemons. Okay, so you can squeeze that organic lemon juice out, and then 12 to 16 ounces of water. Filtered water is going to be your best there. But the benefits of that is going to help to reduce your fatty liver, reduce your cholesterol. There's a lot of weight loss reduction there just because it reduces the insulin resistance, anti-aging, anti-cancer. It reduces kidney stones. Nobody wants to get those. If you're using real lemons, you're going to get the extra benefit of having the vitamin C. It's antiviral and it's antifungal. So there's a lot of health benefits. One of my good friends, he loved the taste of apple cider vinegar lemon detox drink, and he would drink it all the time. He would just keep a little bit in his refrigerator. Now, where on earth is all the toxicity coming from? Well, there's several places. You can do chemical. So think of, cleaning your house. What are you spraying on your countertops? Things like that. You have viral. toxicity, like we have COVID, we have stomach bugs, we have strep throat, like any of those things that could be a virus, which is toxic in your body. You have pollution, and a lot of times people think, well, my pollution is all outside. I got behind that diesel truck and it stunk, and but people don't realize that a lot of times the pollution it can actually be on the inside of your home. Alcohol is also toxic, especially for your liver, and then drugs. Now, when I say drugs, I'm not just necessarily talking about illegal drugs, which is obviously toxic, but every single drug, every single medication out there has a side effect to it, whether that be an over the counter medication or a prescription medication. And so that's why it's so important that we do a healthy lifestyle so we don't have to put those medications in our body if we don't have to. Okay. Here's a fact. So we ingest actually 4 billion prescription drugs in the United States each and every year. Okay. 70,000 chemicals are used commercially. So think about that. Over 3,000 chemicals are added to our food supply, and over 10,000 chemicals are used in food processing, preserving, and storage. So do you think your body needs a detox? Absolutely. When we talk about how do the toxins actually enter your body, there's several different ways. You breathe it in. Okay, so think of all the things, all the pollution that we're actually breathing in. We're swallowing. Our makeup could have toxins in it. We lick our lips. We got lipstick on. We lick that. Okay, now we're eating the apple that has been sprayed. Whatever, we're swallowing that. We're absorbing it. So whatever we put on our skin takes about 20 seconds to absorb. And when we absorb, it doesn't just go right here. It goes through the body, okay? It goes into the blood, and the blood is going to circulate in the body. So that ends up going into your bones, your brain, your gland, your liver, your kidneys, your fat, your muscle, your heart, all these other places. So we're surrounded with the toxins everywhere we turn, no matter how hard we try to be healthy. And then there's some ways that our bodies actually try to detox naturally. So let's say that we get a stomach bug. What starts happening? We start having vomiting and diarrhea. And what's the first thing that we do? We try to get to stop. When your body was created to actually naturally release those. Okay. Now, I don't want you getting dehydrated. There's a time and place for everything, but we're so quick to just get our body to stop when God created our bodies to get rid of that virus, get rid of that toxin that's actually in the body. Or, maybe we're dealing with a sinus drainage or fever. Fever is a way of burning off the viruses, the infections in your body naturally. Okay. Or maybe you're walking outside and a bug flies into your eye. What does it do naturally? It goes into your eye and your eye starts watering. What is your eye trying to do? It's trying to get out that toxin. So your body was created to detox, okay? Now, there's lots of examples of toxins that enter in our body, okay? So how many of us are cleaning our homes with like Lysol and Clorox and all that stuff? And, those are not good. We're absorbing them in our skin, especially if we don't have gloves on. But not only that, but we're breathing it in. We don't have our windows open and we're breathing it in. So we are getting those toxic fumes and everything. You have bug sprays, bug killers that you're using constantly, cigarette smoke. What about your room refreshers? Okay, like your Glade or your plug-ins, your Bath and Body Works plug-ins. I know they all smell good, but those are actually very toxic for your body too. You have your laundry detergent like your Tides, and you've even got your fabric softeners like Bounce and all those things. All those are considered carcinogenic. I know I'm telling you things that you're like, do what? But you really need to make sure that you are using things in your home that is not going to be toxic. So instead of using fabric softeners, which are considered carcinogenic, you can use like the little wool balls in your laundry instead in your dryer. Instead of using Tide, there's a lot of different detergents out there. There's Charlie Soap, Norwex has got some, Clean People. That one's a good one. There's a lot of good things that you can use that is an alternative and it's going to actually be healthy for the body. Instead of using the fresheners like Glade and things like that, use essential oils. I know there's a lot of people out there that do essential oils. Just make sure that they are pure essential oils. Okay. If you're buying them from Walmart, I hate to tell you, but they're not pure essential oils. But all of your essential oils out there, they're not only going to smell good, but they're also going to have health benefits with them too. And when you're looking at your body lotions, your soaps, and things like that, you need to really and truly look at the ingredients that are in there. A lot of them have got parabens. So using something simple, like as simple as just using coconut oil, you can use coconut oil for your lotion instead. It also gets your makeup off very, very easily. There's a lot of good, healthy body washes, body lotions, deodorants, anything like that that you can use in place of something that's going to be toxic. And speaking of deodorants, a lot of these deodorants are going to have parabens in it, and anything that has parabens in it is actually can be linked to cancer. Okay. Now, as women, especially, a lot of us have dealt either with breast cancer or with a friend or a family member who has had breast cancer. And so let's think about we're putting on our deodorant, it's an antiperspirant. We're putting it on. Where are we putting it on at? Underneath our armpits. And that area happens to be the closest to the lymph nodes. And so anytime you've got an antiperspirant in, it's going to have the parabens. I do not use an antiperspirant personally. I do use deodorant. Thank goodness, everybody. But there's things out there like your Native, Lumi is another good one. There's several of them that are out there. Now, I will say with the deodorants though, everyone's pH level is different. So, what may work for me may not work for you. What may work for you may not work for me. So you may need to try a few to figure out which one is the best for you. There is a really good website and it's called stepintomygreenworld.com. And that is a good source of getting to know like which products you can use and if it's healthy for you or if it's not healthy for you. Then we have this thing called phthalates, and phthalates are actually thought to mimic and displace hormones and interrupt their production there. So there's ways to avoid those. You need to stay away from things that actually say fragrance and parfum in them. Okay, so again, only use like natural air fresheners or like the essential oils. When you are drinking or eating out of plastics, look for the recycling codes 1, 2, 4, and 5. Okay, so you just look at that little triangle, and of course, it's going to have a little number on the inside of it. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. Those are the ones that you're looking for. Use glass food storage containers. I love glass food storage containers. Mason jars. Oh my goodness, we've got so many mason jars at our house. But use the mason jars. Your food is going to stay fresher longer. You don't have to worry about all that plastic. If you have kids or babies in the house, choose bottles or sippies or snack cups that are mostly stainless steel, silicone, or glass instead of all those plastics. The phthalates that could be in toys, baby products, including lotion and shampoos and powders and teethers. Okay, so these little babies are putting this in their mouth constantly. Building materials such as vinyl flooring, wallpaper, paint, glue, adhesives. Okay, so this is in everything. Our cosmetics, our nail polish, medical equipment can have that, including the tubing, blood bags, plastics in the NICU, automobiles, right? So I know we all love that new car smell. That's in the phthalates, okay? There's enteric coatings of pharmaceuticals, so that's in there a lot. And then you have your art supplies, including paint and clay and wax and ink, and your scented products, such as candles and detergent and air fresheners. All of these items are going to have phthalates. And again, it can displace your hormones. Now, when you talk about your water, there is a water bottle that I recommend. It's called Purity water bottle, and there's a filter in it. So you think about all of the water bottles that we are using. And I drink a lot of water, and you should be drinking a lot of water too, because remember, we're trying to do half of our body weight in ounces of water daily. But this water bottle is one of the water bottles that we recommend. We do sell it with Partner Co. There is a filter in there, and that filter is approximately good for about 456 water bottles or 60 gallons. So it's a bunch of water. And that's going to remove 99.99% of microbes, contaminants, chemicals, pesticides, and heavy metals. We actually took it out of the country several years ago, and we were able to put our water bottles in the fountain downtown, and that's how we filled up our water. The water was nice and cold. We drank it, it was fresh. I've had several friends who have kids who are in the mission field, and they are literally able to take their water bottles anywhere in that country and be able to have fresh water because of the filter. So if you're ever interested in that, you let me know and I can send you the information. All right. So, what do we need to do to control our exposure to toxins from our foods? Well, one, I would consider buying organic, but that does get expensive. I do realize that. So, figure out which items you use the most. Okay. Does your local grocery store have local items you can buy or that you can buy on sale there? If you're not able to buy the fresh organic, do the frozen organic because a lot of times that's cheaper and it's going to last longer because it's already frozen. You can also buy in smaller quantities because, of course, organic is going to spoil quicker because we don't have all the preservatives in those. Buying dried grains and legumes, that's going to be a good one. Shop your local farmers market. Go get your own garden in your own backyard. When you have your own garden, of course, you know what you are or are not spraying on that. And wash and peel your produce. So when I go to the grocery store, I normally will take all of my produce. I'll put them either in a clean, big bowl, or I'll even fill up my kitchen sink, just make sure it's clean. But just having water, and I'll do about a half a cup of white vinegar in there. I will put my produce in there for about 15 minutes, take it out, put it on a dry towel, and I will let it air dry. And then when we are back from prepping, from our prepping week from last week, I can go ahead and I can cut up these vegetables. They are ready to go. It's just something about cut up vegetables I'm most likely to use versus something that's in the refrigerator waiting for me to go do something to it. Okay. Now, can toxins cause you to gain weight? Yes. Is there anything that you can do about it? Yes. So I am going to read you a quote. This was from the American Association of Neuropathic Physicians, and it says, when you carry toxins, excess stress hormone, and inflammation, your body seeks to protect you from that. The older you get, the greater load you have accumulated over time. You reach a threshold at some point where your biochemistry begins to drive towards fat production as a protective mechanism against those noxious accumulations. Now, where do I put it? It has to be somewhere safe where you won't burn it during everyday activity. The belly, perfect. The presence of toxins can reprogram your DNA to change your biochemistry to produce fat. On the flip side, the elimination of toxins, let me say that again, the elimination of toxins can also drive DNA reprogramming back to normal and away from fat production. So I have seen it multiple times in my last several years of helping people to release weight and balance their blood sugars and help with their inflammation. I have seen it so many times where the person has stopped releasing weight. And once we put them on a detox, I'm finding that people start releasing weight again. Now, there's several things that you can actually do naturally to help get rid of the toxic waste in your body. Okay, you ready to write these down? Pee, poop, respire, and breathe. Okay, I hope you do all four of those things every single day. They're actually something that we need to be doing daily, but it's a natural way for your body to detox. So when we pee, yes, we're going to be talking about all this stuff, but when we pee, it's basically the kidneys are responsible for flushing the waste from our blood. So we need to drink plenty of water. We need to drink half of our body weight in ounces of water every single day. Now, when you look at the color of your urine, the color should be a slight yellow tinge, okay? If it is a slight yellow tinge, that means that your body is hydrated. If it's a darker in color, it could mean that you're dehydrated or even extremely dehydrated. And if you're extremely dehydrated, you need to be getting to the doctor. Um, if you're noticing a strong odor, something like that, that could also be a dehydration. It could even be an infection. So your urine that is coming out of your body actually says a lot about you. Now, I will say this because I get this question a lot of times. If you are doing vitamins, and I recommend doing the optimal vitamins, Those are the ones that we have. But if you're doing vitamins, it is normal for the first urine that you have shortly after you take your vitamins to be almost a fluorescent color. And that's because of the B vitamins. So don't panic. That is normal. You are all good. And then as you are drinking your water throughout the day, you're going to notice that that will lighten up. The other thing that is very important to do is pooping, okay? So one or two well-formed bowel movements every single day, that's going to be the best way to get the toxins out of the system. How do you poop? Believe it or not, I have to teach people how to poop all the time. I'm finding in my area, there's probably more people who don't know how to poop than that does know how to poop. But some things that you can do is increasing your fiber intake. So I want you to do 30 grams of fiber every single day. That means getting in your vegetables, getting in your fruits. When you look at the food list that comes with the Slenderized program, there are lots and lots of fibers. There's a very limited amount of fruit, but you want to make sure that you're getting 30 grams daily. If you are someone who has a hard time with constipation when you're traveling, then use smooth move tea. Or maybe you are just having a hard time in general pooping. Use the smooth move tea. You can get that at any grocery store in the tea section. You can use psyllium husk, which is just fiber. You can use Magnecal D, which is the magnesium, the calcium, and vitamin D, because a lot of people who are constipated actually have a magnesium deficiency. So those are some of the things I would recommend. One of the other things I want to say again is to make sure that you are increasing your water intake so that the bowel movements are going to be softer and easier to expel. The liquid, excuse me, not the liquid, the unrefined coconut oil, that's going to be a natural laxative. So that might be something that you want to add to your diet every day too. And then you want to make sure that you are perspiring, okay? So your skin is going to be one of the single largest organs of elimination. You need to sweat, okay? So how do you sweat? Well, preferably I want you exercising about 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Um, but you can also do things like using a sauna or a steam bath, and that's going to trigger the body's natural way to actually detoxify through sweat. So make sure that you are doing that. Now, the other thing that I want you to concentrate on is breathing. And I know you're going to say right now, well, I breathe every single day. But every day, the lungs filter out the carcinogens in gas fumes and allergens from your pets or plants, spores of mold, like that. Our lungs do so much for us. But a lot of times we forget how to breathe. So I want you to learn how to deep breathe. So when you take a deep breath in, and go ahead and try it right now. When you take a deep breath in, you need to breathe in and then out slowly through your nose. Each in and out breath should be actually a count of 3. So go ahead and try it right now. So you're breathing in and out. You feel better already, don't you? Do this for about 5 times a day, okay? I'm sorry, not 5 times a day. Do this about 5 minutes a day. But this is what I want you to do. Hold out your hand. You're going to breathe in, okay, for 3 seconds, and then you're going to breathe out for 3 seconds, okay? So I like to just kind of follow my hand. You're going to breathe in for 3 seconds, breathe out for 3 seconds, okay? So kind of learn how to do that. It will make your stress levels go down. And the other thing that I want you to concentrate on is when you take a deep breath, are you going, did you see my shoulders lift? I don't want you doing that. I actually want you to breathe from your belly, from your diaphragm. Okay. When you see a little baby and they're in the bed, in their little crib, you don't see their little shoulders coming up and down, do you? You see their little bellies coming up and down. They are deep breathing, and that's what we need to concentrate on also. So some things that you can do is, go get a heavy book or, stick your computer on top of your belly, whatever you need to do. But concentrate on making sure that it's actually your belly moving and not your shoulders. Okay. So breathing is definitely one of the things that you want to do. Um, there is a detox that we recommend. I'm going to show it to you here. This is the Restorix. So Restorix, this features a combination of zeolite, charcoal, and then there's nutrient-dense superfoods in it. And it actually attracts and removes free radicals, unwanted substances, It's going to be balance your pH levels, and then it supports a healthy immune function while detoxifying at the same time. So let's say that we had a drug overdose and we went to the emergency room. Our the doctors are automatically going to give us charcoal, which is going to take out the toxins of the drugs. This has got charcoal in it. So this is not a capsule. This is actually a powder. So again, it's got zeolite charcoal and then it's got nutrient dense superfoods in it. So if we were to go to the ER and they gave us activated charcoal, that's great, but it's also going to take out the good stuff, the nutrients out of our bodies. And so that's why the zeolite and the nutrients dense superfoods have been put into the Restorix. Okay. So you're taking out the bad, but you're getting the good at the same time. Now, when you are taking the Restorix, you can actually, this is safe enough where you can take it every single day if you want to. I do recommend that you take this on an empty stomach. And if you are taking any medication whatsoever, you need to have a 2-hour difference between your detox and your medications. And the reason of that is because of the fact that there a lot of times medications will have fillers in them. And we want to make sure that your medications that you are taking prescribed by your doctor are still working. Okay. My recommendation is to either take it in two different ways. Either just put a scoop, there's a little scooper in there. You take a scoop of it and you can add to just a little bit of water. I personally do not recommend adding a lot of water. Like we're talking about a little bit of water here. Take your Restorix, put it in there, shake it up really good, and drink it. The less water you use with this, the less you have to drink. Okay. My personal favorite way to take it is actually with unsweetened apple sauce. And I will stir it up with either a plastic or a wooden spoon because it's actually taking out heavy metals in your body. So I don't want to stir it with a metal spoon. Okay. So again, plastic or wooden spoon, stir it up. And I normally just get the unsweetened applesauce cups that you can get at the grocery store or whatever. Yes, it does make your applesauce black. You will get over it, I promise you. Now, a lot of times people will ask me, are there any side effects? To take in the Restorix, and the only side effect that I personally have ever noticed is that when I get on the Restorix, typically by day 2 or 3, I notice that I dream more. So it puts my body into a REM sleep, and that's actually when your body is in the healing process anyway. But I can literally, I feel like when I get up the next morning, I feel like I've had the remote control and I've just been switching channels constantly. Okay. Other than that, there's not really any like side effects that you're going to notice that you took a detox. Um, you're not going to have diarrhea or anything like that. It's not a cleanse, it's a detox. Okay, so there's a difference there. So the Restorix is definitely the one that I recommend there for sure. So I just want to leave you with this. Our bodies are actually a temple, but how long can we live in the house before we start redecorating? So that's what we're in the process of doing right now is we are working on our health and our bodies from the inside out. And I'm here to help you. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions that you may have. All right, guys. So until next week, make good choices.